And there we go. Welcome to the Gamers Health live stream with Rach, my lovely wife. I can't look at the screen and point at you because then I want to go this way because the screen is all backwards.
Yes.
But
that was confusing me when we were looking at it too.
So what happened today is I was supposed to have a fireside chat with one of the Zine Quest creators, and that got canceled. Family responsibilities I take care of. And I was like, you know what? I was going to do a live chat anyway. Why don't Rach and I sit down, do one of our Gamers Health podcasts, but do it as a live stream, have an opportunity to talk with members of the community, the audience, let them comment live if they want to. We read all your comments. We'll probably put them up on the screen. But we figured this is a good way to get it out there. If you're listening on the podcast side, if we sound a little punchy, it's because we were goofing around before this, and then it'll probably continue with this. So, first things first, I hate to call it the elephant in the room, but the elephant in the room, COVID. New York State today announced that starting February 15th, people with comorbidities, and basically if you already have a pre-existing condition that will affect your health, starting February 15th, they are taking the allocation that was being put aside for hospital staff and hospital workers and saying if you haven't got vaccinated by then, screw you. We're giving it to the sick people. So I don't know how I feel about that. All I know is that I'll be spending probably every waking moment on my computer hitting refresh.
All you know is that you got to jump on it.
Yeah. I got my
when it comes out there.
Right. I got my parents their first shot. I got Rach her appointment for early next month. Mm-hmm. So now my next responsibility will be getting me my shot. My shot. So figured since we got the visual, and I know you listen to the podcast side, you're not going to get the visual, but you'll get the description. I figured we'd touch on a few things that we use to keep ourselves, I don't want to call it a diet, okay, because diet's too strong a word.
I guess safer lifestyle change
right.
stuff.
When I have congestive heart failure, I am a type 2 diabetic. Again, we don't, nothing to hide here. Rach was borderline pre-diabetes and
hypertension and Hashimoto's disease, which is basically low thyroid.
So, as such, diet is important. Mm-hmm. Right? And be honest with you, before COVID, before my pneumonia, I ate like shit.
Mm-hmm. We enjoyed eating like shit together. We thought it was our God-given right to enjoy every tasty, fatty, sugary food on the planet.
Yeah, so. It's like, oh, look, Root's got bags of candy for sale, chocolates. Let me get 3 of them because that'll last us 3 weeks, maybe, sort of. So we've changed our eating habits. We've changed our diet. I cook a lot of our meals now. So I'm allowed to have some alcohol in my diet, but I have an alternative. In that there's no paid sponsorship. There's no affiliate sales with any of this shit. I've been using hop tea. Hop tea, you can find it online. I think it's about, I don't know, $3 a can. If you're somebody who's go to a bar and you got your beers at a bar, you're probably paying $5, $6, $7.
So you're gonna pop the top?
I'm gonna pop the top.
I'm gonna pop the top of mine too.
There you go.
So I have.
It's very hoppy. It is.
This one is called.
She's got the chamomile one.
Oops, I'm not doing this quite right.
Yeah,
you can tell I'm a total amateur.
Well, here's the virtual screen is trying to come through.
I'm half blind, so
yeah,
we'll take that. This one is called the calm one.
Yeah, that's the chamomile. It has caffeine. It has hops. It has no calories. It has no sweeteners. Not even artificial sweeteners.
Oh, Jesus. What did you do? Shake it on me?
No, I didn't shake it on you. Gee, Rach, it's like you peed yourself. Sorry, did I say that?
Mm. You know, it smells really good. It smells like the hop in it is very light and kind of citrusy. It reminds me of a brewery that we used to go to during our God-given right to drink and eat everything and anything.
Anything that God put. Because we weren't concerned.
Yeah, so it reminds me of those kind of beers, and I always used to tell them, "Oh, so this smells so good. I'd wash my hair with it," you know.
And I was like, what a waste of beer. So I drink. I have hop tea now. I also have, and I've already had the comment. You was on the Discord channel. Tenkar is drinking wine out of a can. Well, you know what? Yes, I am. So
Somebody said that.
yeah. I can't believe Tenkar is drinking wine out of a can.
But it's made by ladies.
It's made by ladies. It's carbonated. It's got, I think, like 3 grams of carbs per can. And if you have heart issues, moderate consumption of red wine has been shown in many studies to be a positive for your heart. So it's something to think about. Red wine in general, I was drinking a glass or 2 at night, and that was always pleasant. Beer-wise, I find Corona Premier or Mick Ultra to be my go-to choices. I'm still clearing my refrigerator out of, God.
The collection of stouts
and just even like
wheat beers.
Wheat beers, I'm giving them to my father because really the carb count is what kills you on that. It's not necessarily and again, why the carb count? Because I am a type 2 diabetic. So that means I now have, as opposed to sticking myself, which I hated doing 4 times a day, I now have the Freestyle Libre 2, which is this little device here. And you get a little patch for your arm, which I have right there. I don't mean to hit you in the face, Rach. So when you don't have to stick yourself and cause pain, you find that you take your blood sugar almost constantly. So right now my blood sugar is 119, and that's actually very good. That's post dinner. So we do a very good job at watching our carbs. It is important to me, again, because my A1C was like 9.5 when I was hospitalized back in May for congestive heart failure. I've got it down below 6. I would like to keep it below 6 because that puts a lot of less stress on my heart. Now, you have to find viable things to snack on. If you don't find viable things to snack on, you're going to binge on shit that you shouldn't binge on. And we've talked about pitos in the past, but on full places, crunchy cheese Mediterranean mix. Have not tried it. Came earlier tonight. I am going. It's gonna be like a live sampling of crunchy cheese. That looks like I don't know. It looks like corn.
Is that a whole one?
Yeah, it's a whole one.
They all look like that?
Yeah, they all look like this. It looks like those little corn nuggets you used to get.
Oh, some kind of sort of pop. Like a corn pop,
smells
but
good.
not sugary and shiny.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Are these supposed to be like the wisps?
Kind of. But it's got a much milder flavor. And it's more spice. It's actually pretty nice. Not a whole lot of flavor, though. So.
Asiago, it's a softer kind
Yes. So why am I talking about flavor? Well, and as I mentioned this probably in the past, we use Home Chef as a meal delivery service. We get 3 meals for 2 people once a week. So for lunch or dinner, it's an extended family, 2-family household, but we eat with my parents a couple of times a week. But what I'm cooking for us, the meals are great. All the ingredients are given to you, including the spices. The problem with that is almost invariably when you're getting these spices with these meals, because like you look at the nutritional facts, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, how the hell is chicken and zucchini with a little demi-glace or whatever, how is that coming out to nearly 1,600 milligrams of sodium? Because of the flavoring, or because of the spice
packets.
The spice packets they give you. So my little trick is I'll open them up, I'll sniff them, I'll give them a little. Yes, like they test cocaine in the movies, right? It's like, no, that's a good Coke. That's a good Caribbean mix.
It's for real.
Yeah, but you can taste the sodium. So what I do, and I got assortment. I'm just showing you the brands. I'm not showing you or talk about the actual flavors, but Noble Made. I get this on what do you call it? What's that site?
Thrive.
Thrive Market. These are good. These have a little sodium. I think a serving size has 85 milligrams, but you're not really using that much. But if you want to go less sodium, you have
Which one's
Dax. Dax is great for no sodium alternative. They have a huge selection. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have a huge selection.
This doesn't have any salt in it?
It does. 85 milligrams.
Oh.
It's fine. It's depending on what you're putting on.
Well.
Yeah. And then
less harm than
right. It's sometimes you need it. And now we got Mrs. Dash. Now this is the Caribbean citrus.
Oh,
I have many flavors, and I say I because I do the cooking. So what can I tell you? I have many flavors of Mrs. Dash. I have many flavors of Dax, and I have an amazing assortment of Flavor God. And
that was one of the first ones that you started ordering.
Yes.
Dash and Flavor God.
Now Flavor God, some of these have some sodium, 40 milligrams. It's very low in sodium. And here's the thing: like today, I had to replace for the what do you call it, the green pepper, the pepper enchilada stuff. The dry mix, which smelled awesome, was definitely sodium laden. So I went and I actually hit a couple of different ones in my spice collection to come close to what I thought that was to duplicate it. And I heard no complaints from my better half as to what I prepared. So I think that went down okay. So but these are you have to be prepared. I mean, one thing I know I'll probably never do again is buy TV dinners, right? Because you buy a TV dinner, the flavor in your TV dinner is almost guaranteed to be from sodium, from salt.
Mm-hmm.
It is the great flavor enhancer of the world. And there are so much better ways to get around that. Even if you don't have high blood pressure, even if you don't have a heart condition, there is so much sodium in the foods that we eat that if you can just find ways to remove the extra, you're going to probably do yourself a lot of good. These aren't, but you have to be proactive. You can't just say, well, I'm going to cook. Oh, look, all I have is pepper and salt to spice stuff up with. Well, you know what? You just handed yourself, a losing hand. Fold those cards and get a new hand dealt. Buy some shit. Have it ready. I mean, that's really. I mean, that's. I hate to say it, but that's spot on. It's what you have to do. You can't just say I'm going to start eating healthy and then not have healthy options available, because the first thing that you're going to do when you realize that you're hungry and all you got to do is like, oh well, I have carrots and broccoli I can nosh on. Ooh, I can maybe put a little ranch dressing out. That's not going to help you. Okay, you got to get things like Pepitos, like the Catalina Crunch Oreo style cookies. So when you get that, I want to binge on something that tastes really good and is decadent, you have that option. You must give yourself those options. You have anything to add on the food?
Yeah,
aspect?
you definitely need like we always take pleasure from food, and we always look for that, and it shouldn't be any different now that we're trying to eat healthier. We should still be able to enjoy it and be excited about what we're having, but just not to the way of like it being an addiction. Like,
right,
none of us are gonna eat the whole packet of cookies.
Right.
The Catalina Crunch cookies.
They are good.
They're really good.
And they are tempting. Now here's something that you should keep in mind when it comes to a lot of the candies. They use sugar alcohols.
Oh yeah.
And I have found that sugar alcohols I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They give me the shits.
Yeah.
And
listen you up.
yes,
Or they give you just a ton of gas.
Well, I'd be happy with the gas.
Yeah.
You might not be happy if I had gas, but I'd be happy with the gas. But it's the
like some of the bars, like the keto bars or sugar-free stuff, like it does tend to have like maltitol.
Some of them have stevia.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have monk fruit. There's a lot of different sweeteners you can look at. We don't drill down into that. That's not what this is about. It's about finding options for yourself, healthier options.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we are,
and that's why it makes it easier to take it in moderation because there's going to be a consequence.
Well, yeah, that too. But also, I'll be honest with you, like finding healthy alternatives to Cheetos. All right, well, Cheetos work awesome. They're very tasty. They got that crunch. They got the cheese. They're also probably 3-4 times expensive as fucking Cheetos. So you have to say to yourself, all right, well, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna stop at one bag.
Yes,
because and that's great because you don't want to spend, I don't know,
a ton of money keeping yourself
right and
satisfied or acting out with
right
Cheetos.
Right, but you want to have those options there because otherwise your option would be to walk down to the corner grocery or the bodega, depending on where you live, and buying Cheetos, Smart Food. And Smart Food's probably a better option in that case, but buying shit that's worthless nutritionally, it's going to be high in sodium, high in carbs. And if you're trying to, and again, we don't live a keto diet.
No.
We watch a lot of keto videos. I'll tell you that much because it gives you ideas on what you can make that's a bit more carb conscious. But I've never tried to make any of those chaffles, which are those cheese waffles, because the cholesterol is going to be fucking insane in that
yeah.
shit. Carb Quick
we're very happy with Carb Quick.
Yeah, Carb Quick, which if you're a keto person, you're gonna it's like, oh, well,
that's not real.
That's not clean keto. But you know what? It's low in net carbs. It doesn't spike my carbs, and it's actually cost wise, it isn't a horrible option. But it's probably for somebody who has congestive heart failure and who already likes to snack on cheese as it is, making waffles that are like 75% cheese and having 2 of them to make a sandwich, probably not a good option.
If you're going to have chaffles and embrace that whole lifestyle, then that's different, which it carries a lot of structure where you have to count your macros, you have to count your fat, your protein, your sort of like being on Weight Watchers with watching your points, and there's like, I guess, rails, things that keep you in lane.
So now,
but we're not doing quite that.
No, I mentioned last week that when I went to my orthopedist, I found out that I weighed 275 about 2.5 years ago. I thought it was around 245, 250. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't taking an honest look at myself, an honest assessment. Now I'm down to 220, which means I actually lost over 50 pounds of legitimate weight, not just pissing out the water weight from the congestive heart failure. Mm-hmm. But you have to, I know, proactive. You have to make an honest assessment of your health. I got news for you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. All right. I consider myself, I probably need to lose at least another 30 pounds, and then I'll just be overweight. All right. That's honest.
You got to have goals.
Right. And in the midst of the world of COVID, sometimes it makes it harder. And in the middle of the winter time, it makes it harder. So I got too much stuff on the desk. I'm not going to turn the screen around, but to our left, we have we have our Nintendo Switch set up, and that is what I've been using to tone up. And we've noticed, and earlier this week, that my love handles are disappearing. I had love handles like for, I don't know, our whole marriage. Yeah. And why are they disappearing? Because I've been using the boxing game on the Nintendo Switch. It's an entertaining way and a challenging way to get myself physically active. I enjoy it. I'm not saying that it will work for you, but it's probably the only current that you can go out there and buy because
That involves physical activity.
well, no, that and the fact that the Sony PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, whatever they call the latest one,
isn't it PS5?
PS5, whatever. The newest ones are unattainable by mere humans right now.
So, they still are,
even
after Christmas?
I could be wrong, but I'm very happy with the Nintendo Switch. Except for when the kitty took one of the controllers and knocked it into a water ball.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
It's just like, oh,
so naughty.
Look at this. Bink, 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 bloop. I'm not saying they're waterproof, but I was stunned for probably about 10 seconds going, what the fuck just happened? But I went and I fished it out and I put it on top of our radiator. And the next morning, it actually resynced.
It's ready to go.
So, there you go. Thank the Lord for that. So that is diet stuff. We'll probably touch on other diet-related stuff in a later live stream / podcast. Now, Rach has been doing... Well, actually, you've been a yoga participant for years, but you've been...
since probably 2003.
You've been training to be an instructor, though, for the last... Well, you took your they call it basic certification. What do they call
Foundational.
it? Foundational certification. So you got that last year?
I guess it was just all completed in 2019.
Which I'm still thinking of as last year, but we're in 2021. So now you're taking the more advanced instruction.
Yeah, the 300-hour more advanced teacher. Like usually, like people think of like the 200-hour as something that they take to expand their own practice and start to get certain lifestyle aspects of it incorporated into their life. And then also there's a little bit of a focus, not a little bit, but there is a focus on teaching, but in the 300-hour, there's more of a focus on teaching and, leadership. You delve more deeply into like yoga philosophy and things like that.
So it's funny because as this training, we're in the midst of COVID. And of course, we're in the midst of the world of COVID. The training is via Zoom. And the initial, we used to call this room for our Amazon device the yoga room. But then it became clear, oh man, hop tea makes you want to belt like you're taking a real beer.
Oh no.
Sorry. And I'm totally sober. But it used to be called the yoga room, but we figured out that our family room / living room was a better setup for Rachel's yoga class, but probably in the end, it will be a better setup for when she offers yoga via Zoom herself. So it's weird, like you plan out around one thing, and then something like, oh well, you know what? This is a better setup. This works better.
Mm-hmm.
So now you brought over one of your singing bowls. Now I don't know if they know what a singing bowl is. You want to explain?
Yeah. So I'll tell you. So when you are into meditation or just enjoy certain sounds, the sacred sounds, people kind of get these. I've had this one. It sits on a little cushion.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice cushion. Rachie.
It's a lovely cushion. It's very deluxe.
I want a cushion like that for my tukish.
Well, you're not going to be able to get this cushion. Maybe we could order another cushion, like a big cushy meditation cushion.
This cushion is like I can palm your cushion. And it would probably get lost in my tukish, but we won't discuss that. So in any case, you got your cushion.
Yeah. And so this I probably got like 15 years ago at a street fair. And it's got some little like symbols on it that relate to I'm just also looking in here. This isn't my one with the Buddha inside. It's got another sort of like a lotusy looking.
Oh, I'll hold it up for the screen. For those of you listening to the podcast, it has a nice design on the inside. Actually, it looks pretty cool, and that's raised in the middle there. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
realize
yeah,
that.
it is.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, and you know the nice thing about it, like the way I'll use this, and I have a collection of them. I have them in all sizes.
I collect RPG stuff, and I want to get the hand and eye of Vecna. So I'm trying to figure out, yoga bowls, hand and eye of Vecna that might kind of be comparable. Do you think? Okay, maybe not. All right.
I'm not sure.
Oh, you haven't seen the hand and eye of Vecna.
I don't think I know what that is.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
It's an artifact.
I'm ignorant.
You're ignorant. So it's an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons artifact, and it's a mummified hand with an eyeball being held in it, and it's in a glass case, and it looks really cool and really disgusting at the same time. I think it would be a great conversation piece. When Shannon comes over, our niece, and she'd be like, "What the?"
And what does the Eye of Vecna do?
Well, these are artifacts. So to use the Eye of Vecna, you would have to have your character poke their eye out and replace it with the Eye of Vecna. It had these great game imbalancing powers. And the same thing with the hand, but you'd have to.
It gives like a supernatural powers or some sort of
with curses going along with it. It's
some kind of realization.
Yeah, and the same thing goes with the hand, but you got to chop your hand off.
Oh, that's a hell of a sacrifice for like something that it gives you power, but not necessarily enlightenment.
No, not enlightenment. This isn't a Doug Kovacs adventure.
Okay.
Just a little throwback there to North Texas when Doug was really excited because Rachel was really playing her character well and was like, I can get high? Woo-hoo! I want enlightenment. It's like, wow, you put your goals up pretty high. Most people just want to get bombed.
Yeah, it was the goggles.
Yes.
Yeah, that he had.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, damn, these goggles aren't really great. I'm living, but I'm not able to do much of anything. And just kind of like, whoa, yeah, this is great.
You're tripping, but it's stuck in that world.
Yeah, stuck.
So
usually what I do with this is I use it along with meditation, or like if I use it also at work. When
you're a social worker.
Yeah, I'm a therapist. So like when I do, some sort of meditation or progressive muscle relaxation that leads to a meditation, I will usually, sort of end it with this, or I might use it to bring the person's attention back to their breath. There's a lot of different ways that you can use these things, with other people, but then also, using it for yourself. And that, can just be like either playing it or, because, there's times where, I'll take all of them out and, start stroking away at all of them.
I'm not gonna. That sounded awkward.
Sorry.
You're stroking away at all? Never mind.
You strike.
Strike.
The bowl.
You strike the ball. You don't stroke the ball. Listen, I'm the one being disgusting. You're the one that's pretending that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's my job.
That's my job. All right. So show us the how you strike a singing ball.
Okay. So there's two ways. The way that I like to do it, it's weird.
You gotta come this way. You gotta go there. There you go.
I like to use it on a flat hand. For these little metal ones, it's best to the sort of flat hand, and then you can usually I'll just strike it Often I'll give it 3 strikes sort of at the end of a meditation.
It holds that note for a while. Folks, you have not gone to Tibet. It might sound like it, but...
And then the other way is it takes a little time for people to kind of get how to do this.
Oh, this
And
is
it's
cool.
not like an ability issue. It's more of like, I guess maybe a concentration issue, sort of a patience issue. I remember when I first started to play with the singing bowls, I could never make them ring in this way. But there's another way of making them sing, and that's usually by drawing it around the side of it. And for a lot of people, when you first start, it does it like this. And you're like, okay, well, do I need to go faster and make the sound come out? Some people sort of get these things started by giving it a little gong and then working the sound up through.
It reminds me
continued concentration
of a monk's quivering and palm effect almost. And you're going to make the vibrations explode the ball, but you really don't make the vibrations explode the ball. But it's kind of a neat effect.
I don't know why it's not.
It's not doing it because you're live. Would it work better on the pillow? I don't
know. I've never done that on the pillow, but no, it's
kind of, sort of.
Here, I'm gonna go get another one.
In any case, folks, you're not going to get another one. We'll do another one next week.
I'll show the whole collection next week.
Well, show the whole... Well, be like, oh my God, you can't believe how many singing bowls. Now, the singing bowl here, for those of you at home, it is roughly the size of my hand. Oh, Jesus. We're probably breaking glasses in somebody's home. We take no I take no responsibility. Rach might have to take responsibility, but if your glassware starts fading.
Yeah. In the studio, I've used it in the studio and it fills the space.
The size of the singing bowl in question, it made those sounds. I can palm it with my fingers don't curl, but they grab the sides. So it's actually, I guess, hand-sized. This one. It's pretty cool. And it's heavy. It's a heavy sucker.
Then I have two or three that are like either this size or a little smaller. And then they go up to being probably...
They're big.
They're big. They go beyond where you can see the full hands. But they are big and they make pretty big noise.
I remember when you were taking your singing bowl class in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And you bought your singing bowls.
At Integral Yoga.
Yes.
And you wanted to help. You knew you needed to help me down because they were heavy.
Yes.
Because they're this metal.
Holy fuck, folks! I mean,
and he didn't realize. They're like, oh my god, you have to take off your shoes.
Oh yeah. I didn't know I had to take off my shoes stepping into this. I didn't know I was walking on religious ground in Lower Manhattan in an old brownstone. How the fuck should I know that shit? But I found out like he did something wrong. Shun him. So, this was fun.
Yeah.
And we're on 2 folding chairs. The setup is just so perfect. I wouldn't believe it's not butter. I didn't believe it's actually worked out pretty well though.
Okay.
Folks, as I am fond of saying, we're in the midst of the pandemic. And I say the pandemic because it really is it's a shit show, right? And however, the immunizations shots are going out are not going out as well as they should be. That's for sure.
Is that in everybody's area? I wonder.
I don't know. I know in New York it's fucked up. But hey, if I lived in New Jersey, I would take up smoking just to get on the fast list. If you live out in New Jersey, just tell them you're a smoker. Buy a pack of cigarettes.
What about ex-smokers? Would they let those?
I don't know. No, you don't. You'd have to go in there and I'm a smoker.
Yeah, I mean, I can do the cough really well.
I smoker's breath. But But listen, use your common sense. All right. We always say my character wouldn't throw a fireball in a 10x10 room. He's got common sense. Use your fucking common sense when it comes to COVID. It's going to keep you healthy, safer, better than anything else right now. Common sense is the best weapon you have. We're not medical professionals. I'm not going to tell you, wash your hands. They don't tell you to wash your hands anymore, do they? You know, used to tell you, wash your hands to like happy.
I think that kind of goes without saying for any sort of germs and viruses. No,
time out. They keep on telling you to wear your fucking mask, but they stop. Apparently, you can take your hands and.
I think it's a given that you're washing your hands.
And
that you're coughing into the bend of your eye.
Coughing into the bend of your eye. Chew. You pull your mask down next time you fucking sneeze. Folks.
Like those are ingrained in our culture now, I think.
Yeah, damn it. The only thing ingrained in our culture is I want life to return to normal. And we all do.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. And I am back tomorrow doing a live stream tomorrow. Hold on. For those of you who know me, I'm extremely disorganized. I actually have a list.
Wow.
Yeah. I never even had this shit when I was working, and as a sergeant, I was the administrative sergeant, and I was not organized. And I was the worst person to make an administrative sergeant. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., I've got Craig Campbell doing the low stakes Kickstarter for Zine Quest. So if you are, well, that's 7 a.m. if you're out in California. God knows it's probably like 2022. Oh, shut up, Alexa.
Alexa, you're embarrassing us.
It's probably like next year if you're in Australia, because Australia's got it like that. Folks, be safe, like I said, and knock on wood. Got real wood here in the window frame. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. We got live streams every day for the next, I think, week and a half. Sometimes two live streams. Do it. And I wouldn't be able to do this without my lovely wife supporting me. So thank you, hon.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Behind the scenes, I'm an asshole, but in front of camera, I'm a nice guy. All right, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening at home on the podcast. You're why we do this. Later, folks. Night.
Night.